What's up everybody, my name's Big Cam and welcome back to another movie review, and today we are talking about 2025's Caught Stealing, starring Austin Butler, Zoe Kravitz, Matt Smith, and a whole bunch of people. The cast in this is honestly ridiculous. From director Darren Aronofsky, and I rented this the other night on Amazon Prime. I just couldn't wait. This was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I did a trailer reaction earlier in the year and it got a bunch of views and people were really hyped for this one. So I've been waiting for this one, to be honest with you. And I haven't seen a whole lot of Darren Aronofsky's other work. It does look like he had a movie called The Fountain in 2006, a movie called Pi in 98, The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke. I think I actually saw that in 2008 when that came out. That's a pretty incredible movie from Mickey Rourke. Caught Stealing, of course. He did Mother, which I think was poorly received, but also well received. I think what's her name? Jennifer Lawrence won a Razzie for that award, but other people say that movie's still phenomenal. You know, from the two people I have on Letterboxd, one of them gave a ½ star, the other one gave a 3.5. So, you know, not necessarily a a movie that's gonna hit everybody the same there with Mother. And he also, I think, won an Oscar, or at least somebody that in his movie, The Whale, from last year. Brendan Fraser won an Oscar for The Whale, I think, last year. Or, yeah, 2022, so a couple years ago. I think Brendan Fraser's working on a Mummy 4 right now. It might be really cool. And then two movies that I need to see from him. Requiem for a Dream from 2000. Everybody that I've heard watch this said it was unbelievable and just a crazy trip of a movie. But even so, I have a bunch of people that gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars, and then one person that gave it a 1.5 star, you know? So, I don't know, maybe his work isn't for everybody, but for me, just from seeing Caught Stealing, and then Black Swan from 2010, you know, between Natalie Portman and Mila Kunis in that movie, quite hot, but also creepy, you know what I mean? But this movie opens up with one of the sexiest scenes I've ever seen. I mean, Zoe Kravitz and Austin Butler together, I was like, ooh, ooh, boy, I was like, fan me off. I need something. You know, this was a hot scene, heated up the room hot, you know what I mean? And then, you know, getting into some spoilers for this movie. If you don't want to hear any spoilers, just, you know, brief thoughts on this. You know, if it's coming out soon on streaming, definitely go check it out. But if you're somebody like me that was thinking about renting this movie, it was so worth it. I had a great time watching this. It was funny, but it also kept me super engaged in the twists in this, where I was like, you know, in my head going into this, I knew some shit was going to go down. He was going to get caught stealing, and then, you know, maybe him and Zoe Kravitz get away. Not quite how this movie goes down, because poor Zoe Kravitz gets shot in the head, and the whole time he thinks it's a cop, and then the cop that you think is working with him is actually a dirty cop, played by Regina King, Detective Roman. She's dirty, you know, and so somebody killed Yvonne, Zoe Kravitz's character, but you're like, who is it? Then later you find out that it's these Amish guys that he turned to turn against the other guys, and the Amish guys are played by Vincent D'Onofrio and LIEV Schreiber. I love these guys. I mean, Kingpin, Sabretooth, Ray Donovan. I mean, Vincent D'Onofrio is one of the best actors of our generation, but LIEV Schreiber is too. I think he's so good. I really love him and everything I've seen him in. You know, he's just got such a voice too. But, you know, oh, I just saw him recently in the Scream movies as well. He was the red herring in the Scream movies, if you would. But then Matt Smith's in here as a guy named Ross with a giant mohawk. Oh, yeah, oh, bruv. Oh, you bruv, you fucking... Is that supposed to be an accent? Is that supposed to be me, bruv? And then he's like, hey, dude, shut up. Hey, fuck you, man. You know, dude, there was some writing in this that had me so dead. And I was like, I would have loved to see this in theaters. But at the same time, it was like, I don't need to. And then there was these two Russians, Pavel and Alexei. And, oh my God, one of those fucking Russian guys was such a nightmare of a dude, just so creepy, crazy, and just every time I saw him doing anything, I was like, oh my fuck. You know, just a weird guy. Bad Bunny was in there playing a character named Colorado. He gets brutally taken out of here at some point. Action Bronson's in there at one point. And then just oh, I mean, like, the whole story, like, I'm not even a cat guy. And then at the end, you know, like, it's really just him and the cat, you know? And it's like, you know, it's not even about baseball anymore. The guy's just been through so much that he's like, fuck, I gotta do something with my life, you know? Like, it can't just be all about the Giants. And, you know, but, like, the whole movie, he's calling his mom, and we never hear the mom's voice. We just hear him, like, either leaving messages for the mom, or, like, the mom leaving messages for him. And, like, maybe I should have gotten it from the voice of the mom, but you don't see the mom until, like, a post-credit scene. And then as soon as you do, you know, he's like, you just hear an Austin Butler voiceover, and it's like, hey, mom, you're gonna be getting a package in the mail soon. It's half of everything I ever had, you know. And it's, you know, so the $4 million that he stole, he sent his mom 2, and he's been living on the other 2 in Costa Rica or wherever the hell he was, in the middle of nowhere at some bar, you know, just living on some island. And Tenoch Huerta, who is Namor in Black Panther Wakanda Forever and in probably Avengers Doomsday as well, he's like the bartender. And I was like, what the fuck, you know, or like Tulum, wherever they are, it says Tulum bartender for him. I was like, oh shit, like I kind of popped for him. And then when they showed who the mom was, I really popped. I was like, Laura Dern, what a perfect casting for Austin Butler's mother in this movie is Laura Dern, like legendary Laura Dern. And if you don't know who Laura Dern is, fuck you. Laura Dern is a legend. I fucking love her, for whether it's from Jurassic Park or Star Wars. I mean, oh, she played a legendary character in the Star Wars, even though those later movies aren't great. But like, oh, she was so good in Jurassic Park, and then coming back in like Jurassic World Dominion, you know, bringing in the old cast with the new cast. I actually quite liked that aspect of that movie, even though that movie itself isn't that great. But like, oh god, she's done some great things. I love Laura Dern as an actress. And, you know, Austin Butler, man, as a leading man in this movie, you know, like not doing like a crazy character like in Dune Part 2 or doing Elvis, you know, like getting a chance to be kind to himself, but like, you know, this character Hank, you know, and like he's doing Austin, but he's not, you know, because he's not totally deep down here the whole time. You know, like his voice now is like so deep. I'm like, god damn, how did he get so goddamn deep? Like, just talk a little bit, talking like Elvis for so long, you gotta become, you know, like, but I love Austin's voice, and I love Zoe Kravitz as well. I have such a crush on her, and the two of them in this movie were so fucking hot. And I couldn't help myself but think, like, was Zoe Kravitz, you know, kind of doing some sexy shit in this movie with Austin Butler, and she was like, what the hell am I doing marrying Channing Tatum? He's older than me. There's young, hot guys like Austin Butler out there. I could be doing whatever the fuck I want to be doing. Why the fuck am I getting married? And she called that off. You know, I'm curious if there's anything like that, like, that's what went through her head, or did Channing cheat? Who knows? I mean, it's none of our business either way, but, you know, I love the tea out there, the drama. You know, like I watch wrestling, and people are like, you watch wrestling? What a nerd. And like, I grew up on it, so I loved it. And my buddy Langone really loves it still. So like, we watch it, but like, I'm not watching it for the wrestling or the wrestlers. I'm watching it for the drama, you know, like the storytelling, and then talking to my buddy afterwards. Like, oh, yo, did you see this drama? It's getting good. You know, like, I don't know. That's my vibe. But comment below. Did you vibe out with Caught Stealing? Is there any other Darren Aronofsky films that I should go check out that, you know, you guys recommend? And I would love some movie recommendations down in the comment section below, whether they're just any movie that you really like or a movie that you saw recently, or if you have any holidays, you know, Christmas movies to recommend heading into Christmas 2025 here. Overall, for me, I gave this movie 4 out of 5 stars. I really did enjoy it. It's about an 8 out of 10. If I had to give it a true 10 score, it might even be like an 8.2, 8.3. You know, like I genuinely really liked this. And if you've been watching my movie reviews for a while, they're like kind of vlogs, kind of, you know, my daily, you know, what I've been watching. But also, you know, like I want to talk to people that also enjoyed movies, are movie lovers in general. Maybe you're watching this to see if you should watch the movie. Definitely, you know, but more than likely, if you clicked on this video, you've already seen this movie and you wanted to hear what somebody had to think about it or say about it. And if you clicked on this video, I highly appreciate you, and I'd love to talk more movies with you. So drop a comment down in the comment section below, or you can message me on my other social medias, links for those down in the description. But yeah, overall, this movie is about a 4 out of 5 stars, and if you guys have been paying attention, anywhere from like a 3 up is like a good movie that I would recommend. Anything anything below a 3 is like I'm trying to say something nice about it, but I didn't really love it. Or, you know, if it's like a 5, if it's like a 2.5 out of 5 stars or a 5 out of 10, that is like a good movie that's bad or a bad movie that's good, you know, like it's hard to tell. There's so many different kinds of movies, but anything like a 3, 3.5, I really enjoyed those movies. Most of my scores sit around like a 7, you know, so that's like a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Anything 4 stars and up, I genuinely really liked. If I've given it a 5 star, which I don't think I've given out really any 5 stars this year, so if I've given out a 5 star for something, that's a fucking phenomenal movie. And anything, you know, 4, 4.5, you know, those are really, really good movies that I highly recommend. So this, for me, being a 4 out of 5 stars, I really do recommend this. I kind of want to go watch it again, but I rented it the other night, so now it's not available anymore. So I hope this movie comes out on, you know, streaming soon. And like, even just the little tagline for this: 2 Russians, 2 Jews, and a Puerto Rican walk into a bar. You know, like, oh God, poor Hank. You know, and the, you know, synopsis for this: burned out ex-baseball player Hank Thomas unexpectedly finds himself embroiled in a dangerous struggle for survival amidst the criminal underbelly of late 1990s New York City, forced to navigate a treacherous underworld he never imagined. You know, so like, that's exactly what happens to poor Hank in this movie. You know, he has baseball dreams, and he's just like a bartender, and he really wants to be with this girl, but then you know, he's, because of his neighbor Russ, all of a sudden he's wound up into this underworld of the 1990s something New York, and it's wild, where, you know, there's Russians after him, there's corrupt cops, there's Jews, you know, the Amish people, you know, whatever you want to call them. Crazy nuts movie. Really good runtime, great cast, great director, beautifully shot. I don't have any critiques on it. 4 out of 5 stars, that's my score. I'd love to hear yours down in the comment section below. And if you've made it this far into the video, I highly appreciate you. And if you'd like to support the channel, the best way to do that is liking this video, commenting in the comment section below, subscribing if you haven't already, and hitting that bell so you don't miss the next movie review and you get the notification when that comes out. Once again, thank you guys so much. My name is Big Cam, and I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Peace.